Building a high-performance enterprise is the objective of most corporate leaderships. This involves strategic planning, recruiting, and maintaining highly motivated employees and establishing an environment that is conducive for high performance. In recent times, especially post the pandemic, most organizations have struggled with key performance indicators such as profitability per employee, attrition rate, training and development cost, and overall morale among employees. This paper introduces an integrated approach to resolve three key components of hiring, attrition, and engagement that leverages historical records and well-designed surveys to plug in data gaps. A conjunction of all three helps create an ecosystem that positively impacts HR KPIs more effectively and economically. Several research papers were referred for this paper to build a stronger methodology. Dr. Dana Pisaj demonstrates that it is feasible to predict the successful placement of a candidate at the pre-hire stage. Dr. Reema Ghosh establishes the link between factors that influence employee motivation and commitment. For workplace environment, Kevin Niffin explained how different kinds of global threats and crises shape workplaces in varied ways. In terms of building ML models, Yui Zhao evaluated the performance of 10 supervised ML techniques on various HR datasets and suggested feature importance ranking to interpret the attrition model. We addressed a lot of questions pertinent to all three facets of the study. For employee attrition, key questions were: who will leave? Why does an employee leave? When is the employee expected to leave? What can be done to prevent attrition? For employee hiring, the questions were: how can we ensure appropriate succession planning through external hires? How can we ensure best fitment for any specific role? How can we screen and shortlist applications in an automated fashion? And for employee engagement, the questions were: how are employee satisfaction, motivation, inspiration, and commitment interconnected to employee performance? Key factors for employee motivation and inspiration. Actions needed to motivate and inspire an employee. We encountered challenges in terms of data quality and maturity. From the maturity standpoint, data was categorized in three buckets: ready and well curated for analytical consumption, available in bits and pieces, and hence may need partial or total overhaul, not available but critical and hence needs to be built from scratch. Major actions taken to bridge the gaps in the data were: initiate structured employee satisfaction survey, run psychometric tests to targeted employee group, to fill missing information. All three components were solved independently to understand the nuances while solving such issues. Attrition predictive analytical model was developed by leveraging ML algorithms, followed by hyperparameter tuning to ensure best accuracy and precision. Based on attrition probabilities derived from the model, employees were categorized into high, medium, and low risk of attrition. This was followed by a survival analysis model for high-risk employees to know when they are expected to leave. During the hiring process, purpose can't be solved by focusing only on the competency score. We need to anticipate future attrition chance for an applicant. Attrition prediction model, when followed by a discriminant analysis, derived a discriminant function that helped categorize the employees into high, medium, and low risk of future attrition. The applicant data also leveraged to develop a performance model by applying a supervised ML to know the performance risk associated with an applicant. By combining these two risk scores, we arrive at common traits to minimize these two, thus filtered out the list of desired employees. While working on employee engagement, majority of the information is not available directly, as many are latent class of variables such as satisfaction, workload, motivation, commitment, etc. All of this collected through well-designed employee surveys. To establish the relationship among them and with other employee variables, partial least square structure equation models was applied and derived the necessary insights. This helped design the engagement programs for employees to enhance their motivation and commitment. We integrated the individual solutions into a single, accurate and holistic framework. Since employee attrition eventually links to hiring and engagement, we carved out an integrated approach that brought attrition, hiring and engagement pieces together. The insights from attrition, hiring and engagement were first derived separately. Then dots were connected to derive a holistic view to develop an integrated solution. High-risk attrition employee groups were identified by conditional probability for high risk of attrition across different employee groups. This helps with decision-making and a proactive approach. Employee-level insights were derived with the help of Line tool that envisage factors associated with attrition risk. This helps HR managers to act and design specific engagement programs for employees. It is assumed that an experienced applicant performs better and stays longer as compared to a fresher. Our findings were against this. From a sample of 996 applicants, it was established that there was no significant difference between performances of experienced and college freshers. Also, a fresher stays more with the organization as compared to an experienced one. The model was tested with actual outcome after 1 year, and there were minimum deviations with predicted estimates of employee performance and attrition across job functions and level of their competency scores. Application of partially least square structural equation models was very effective to determine key factors associated with impact of engagement on employee in terms of motivation, commitment, as well as impact of COVID-19 on employee motivation and other behavior. These insights were very helpful to redesign engagement programs to enrich the human capital. Key employee engagement activities were identified based on their data-driven weights with ML methods and helped redesign engagement programs. Engagement score was devised by weighted average of engagement programs attended by each employee, and it was found that there was a strong relationship of engagement score with both attrition and performance. This was witnessed across functions and departments. The objective of the study was to determine how best we can enrich human capital to achieve organizational goals effectively. This involves two phases. The first was to work on all three components independently to predict and identify key factors associated with them. The second one was to determine how all these three can be addressed in an integrated approach by working on common elements among them. The research work identified that both attrition and performance can be addressed by working on employee engagement. By maximizing the engagement score, we can not only reduce attrition, but also successfully increase employee performance to achieve key HR KPIs. Again, data-driven hiring strategy not only controls attrition issue, but can also improve employee performance. So, a combination of data-driven hiring and engagement produced the desired results.